Ever wondered why the US and UK recently launched strikes against Yemen? It's a question that has been on the minds of many as news of these strikes made headlines around the globe. What led to this sudden escalation? Could it be related to the ongoing conflict in Palestine? And more importantly, what are the potential repercussions of these strikes? These are the questions we aim to answer, so buckle up and get ready for a deep dive into the complex world of international geopolitics. Stay tuned as we explore the events leading up to these strikes. The story begins with the Houthi attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea. For some time now, the Houthis, an Iran-backed militant group, have been launching drones and missiles at commercial vessels, disrupting international shipping lanes. Their actions, they claim, are in solidarity with the Palestinian people. As the threat to international shipping grew, the US and UK decided to respond. They deployed aircraft from the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower aircraft carrier and the RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, respectively. Fighter jets, Tomahawk missiles, and naval vessels were all used in the strikes. The aim was to target Houthi command and control nodes, munitions depots, launching systems, production facilities, and air defense radar systems. The strikes were carried out with precision to minimize collateral damage and were not aimed at civilian population centers. As a result, 5 Houthi militants were killed and 6 were wounded. Despite the conflict in Yemen causing a devastating humanitarian crisis, the US and UK made it clear they were targeting the Houthis, not the Yemeni people. The decision to carry out these strikes was taken after a particularly damaging Houthi attack on Red Sea shipping. US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, who was recovering from surgery at the time, ordered and monitored the strikes in real time. However, these strikes were not an isolated incident. They marked the first known strike against the Houthis in Yemen by the US and UK. They come amid concerns of escalating tensions in the Middle East and the risk of being drawn into a larger conflict with Iran. These strikes were not an impulsive act of aggression, but a calculated response to a growing threat. The repeated attacks on international shipping lanes in the Red Sea by the Houthis were deemed intolerable by the US and its allies. The world now watches and waits, as the potential for retaliation from the Houthis and a wider conflict looms on the horizon. The strikes have had a significant impact on the Houthi operation. The US and UK militaries targeted key Houthi command and control nodes, munitions depots, launching systems, production facilities, and air defense radar systems. This has disrupted the Houthis' ability to launch attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea. Moreover, the strikes have severed the key supply lines from Iran to the Houthis, which could significantly hinder their ability to resupply with weapons. However, the strikes have not been without consequences. The Houthis have vowed retaliation, raising the prospect of escalating tensions in the Middle East. Furthermore, there's a risk of getting drawn into a larger conflict with Iran, who backs the Houthi rebels. The strikes were carried out with precision to minimize collateral damage and were not targeting civilian population centers. Yet the conflict in Yemen between Houthi forces and the Saudi-backed coalition has already caused a devastating humanitarian crisis. The added military action could exacerbate the suffering of the Yemeni people. The question now is, what happens next? While the immediate impact of the strikes has disrupted the Houthis' operations, it's unclear how long this effect will last. The Houthis have demonstrated their resilience in the past, and there's a real possibility they could find new routes for resupply or adapt their tactics. While the strikes have dealt a blow to the Houthis, the situation remains volatile and unpredictable. The international community will be watching closely as events unfold, hoping for a resolution that brings stability to the region and relief to the people of Yemen. So, where does this leave us? We're in a world where the ripple effects of distant conflicts are impacting international waters, with commercial shipping lanes in the Red Sea under threat. The US and UK's military response, targeting Houthi command centers, munitions and radar systems, have disrupted key supply lines from Iran to the Houthis. This action, while aimed to protect international commerce, has also raised concerns of escalating tensions in the Middle East. The strikes mark a pivotal moment in the conflict between the Houthi forces and the Saudi-backed coalition, underlining the growing international dimension of the crisis in Yemen. It's important to remember that these strikes are not simply about Yemen, but about a broader regional context, where the war in Palestine and the role of Iran are deeply intertwined. Yet the question remains, what comes after the strikes? Will they deter further Houthi attacks on shipping lanes, or will they fuel an escalation of conflict? And perhaps most importantly, how can the international community address the devastating humanitarian crisis in Yemen that continues to unfold? These are complex issues with no easy solutions, but it's crucial that we continue to discuss, question, and understand them. We invite your thoughts and questions on this complex issue. Please share them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.